Have you ever noticed how sometimes the places you expect the most from God aren't always the places where the most seem to happen? There's something about that small, quiet church, the one with the worn carpet, the mismatched chairs, where people walk in broken, but somehow they walk out changed. And then there are the bigger spaces, beautiful, thoughtful, well put together, amazing production. God is there too, of course he is, but sometimes the extraordinary feels a little quieter. And I've been sitting with that question lately, like, why? And I keep coming back to the moment in Mark chapter 6 when Jesus goes home to Nazareth, the place where everyone knew him. They'd seen him grow up, they knew his family, they knew his history, and at first they're amazed, but then something shifts. Isn't this a carpenter? And just like that, they go from wonder to familiarity. And scripture says something really striking, that he could do no mighty work there, and he marveled at their unbelief. Not because his power changed, God doesn't change, but because there was nowhere for it to land. And that line has just been sitting with me. Familiarity didn't kill the miracles. It quietly led them to decide who Jesus was. And once they decided, they stopped looking. And I wonder if we do the same thing. Not in a loud, rebellious way, not by walking away from faith, but slowly and quietly. We learn the stories, we understand theology, and we know what God has done. But somewhere along the way, we start forming expectations of what he won't do. We build a box, not intentionally, but a box of what makes sense, what feels reasonable, what fits our experience. And we don't realize it, but we've gone from encountering God to managing our understanding of him. There's a line in Psalm 78 that says, they limited the Holy One of Israel, not because God became smaller, but because they related to him based on what they already knew. And that's the tension, because knowledge isn't the problem, but knowledge without the awe can quietly replace the wonder. Think about the first time grace really hit you, not just an idea, but as something real. The weight of being fully known and still fully loved. Remember that feeling? When was the last time it felt like that again? Same truth, but fresh awe. But here's the thing, the people of Nazareth weren't wrong about Jesus. They were just incomplete. And incomplete turned out to be enough to miss the miracles standing right in front of them. But then you look at others, the woman who just thought, if I could just touch him, the centurion who said, just speak the word. They didn't have all the knowledge, but they had something else, expectation, a kind of faith that hadn't been narrowed yet. And I think that's what we're being invited back into. Not less understanding, but a different posture. Because Moses, after seeing the burning bushes, parted seas, miracles, plagues, he still says, show me your glory. Not, I've seen enough, but give me more. And Job, who had all his theology lined up, encounters God and every shifts. I've heard of you, but now I see you. Everything shifts for him. And maybe that's an invitation for us too, to move from heard of to seeing again. So how do we get that all back? Maybe it starts here, reading scriptures like it's alive again, not asking what do I already know, but what am I missing? Praying bold prayers again, the kind you almost want to talk yourself out of, the kind that kids pray. Letting God interrupt your expectations instead of explaining everything away too quickly. Holding both truths together, that he is near, but he is also so holy. And maybe most of all, become like a child again. Curious, open, expectant. Because children don't struggle with awe. They expect the impossible. And maybe, just maybe, we don't need a new version of our God. We just need a fresh revelation of the one who has always been bigger than our understanding of him. because he hasn't changed. He hasn't become ordinary. He hasn't become manageable. The question is, have we quietly become Nazareth? Are we still willing to look again, to expect again, to surprise again? Because he's still the same God and he's still able to do more than we've allowed ourselves to believe. Maybe it's time we step outside the box and see him again. Till next time, stay blessed.
Je reviens chez moi, clé dans la main, y'a que le silence, mais c'est bien. J'ai tout laissé pour recommencer. Maintenant je pose mes rêves sur le plancher. C'est vide mais je ressens une vibe, comme si le ciel me dit t'inquiète ça arrive. Chaque mur je le couvre de foi. Je me dis un jour ce sera rempli de joie. C'est une maison de prière.